Thank you very much. Thank you for coming out here. Okay. All right. Okay, I didn't cure anything. Jesus Christ. Fucking Lifetime Achievement Award out here. I have been on the road for the last 5 months. I don't know, man. I just really thinking the worst of people. Really am. You see some of the animals. Some of the animals I see. Like, I was in the airport the other day, right? I'm sitting there waiting for my flight, just hating my life. And watching this lady. She's eating egg McMuffins, like plural. It just threw like 3 of them. Right down her throat like a pelican, just like right down her gullet. And when she was done, she wiped her face with the bag. With the bag! Not even like a gentleman, like, no, just do the corners and she just got a straight razor shave. Just an absolute animal. I saw this other dude, he was so out of shape, he was like trying to itch his back and he couldn't reach it. So he walked up to a support pole that was holding up an entire floor of the airport and just walks up and he just starts like rubbing up against it. Like a grizzly bear, just sitting there. Just a fucking animal. Dude, I am so pro swine flu, it's like ridiculous. I want it. We need a plague. I'm telling you, we need a plague. It's gotta happen, and don't be afraid. It's only gonna kill the weak, you know? Seriously, put on a sweater, take some vitamins, you're gonna be fine. You gotta let Mother Nature do her thing, man. She keeps trying to help us out, and we won't let her do it. Keeps trying to thin the herd every single time. We're like, oh, go down and get your vaccination. Why? Why? So Egg McMuffin lady can breed with the back fat guy, you know? It's gotta happen. You gotta let it do it. Seriously, plague, it's like nature's forest fire, you know? Just let it burn out all the dead wood. No, I swear to God, we're the only species that saves the weak. We really are. Lions don't do that shit, you know? Lion gets a little thorn in his paw and everybody says, oh, let's have an intervention. How you feeling? Is everything all right? You need some penicillin? And it's like, fuck them. That's why there's no traffic on the Serengeti. Not a bunch of lions just standing there in gridlock. Like, what the fuck is going on up there? Dude, go! Just fucking go! Our lady, you get up there, there's some hyena licking his balls, like, oh, that was a big holdup, right? Like you never saw that before. Well, by all means, slow down and look at it. So, I got a girlfriend, man. I watch a lot of TV with her, you know. I just annoy the hell out of her. She loves watching the Oprah Winfrey show, and I love, like, watching her watch the Oprah Winfrey show. And I wait for Oprah to say something stupid, and the second she does, I just take it out on my girl, because I'm an asshole. That's what I do. No, we were watching it the other day, you know, Oprah's on there. She's interviewing some clam, you know. And, she's giving her this big, ridiculous intro. Like, she's done this, she's done that, she's done this, and she does the most difficult job on the planet. She's the mother, and continues on. Immediately, I just look at my girlfriend like, you know, like, really? Being a mother is the most difficult job on the planet? Oh, yeah, all those mothers who die every year from black lung, from inhaling all that coal dust. Dude, women are just constantly patting themselves on the back about how difficult their lives are, and no one corrects them because they want to fuck them. That's what it is. So there's just this tornado of, like, misinformation. Hey, the most difficult job on the planet. What would you rather be doing? Drilling to the center of the earth, shaking hands with the devil, Every time there's a rumble in the ground, you wait for the whole thing to collapse down on top of you so they can write that folk song about you, you know? Would you rather be up in the sunshine, running around with a couple of toddlers that you can send to bed anytime you want on some sort of trumped-up charges, right? Because you want to have a drink and watch The Price is Right, you know what I mean? I couldn't believe it. It's the most difficult job on the planet. Oh, yeah. I thought roofing in the middle of July is a redhead. I thought that was difficult. But these mothers are bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it. Dude, any job that you can do in your pajamas is not a difficult job, all right? Give a break. Jesus Christ, you're 35 years old playing hide and go seek. You're living the dream. You're living the dream. No time card, no taxes. You're off the fucking grid. Making popsicle stick houses. I mean, it's the most difficult job on the planet. Oprah's not even a mother. How the fuck would she know? Unbelievable. Granted, neither am I, but I think it kind of balances itself out. I don't know. I'm so full of shit. I really am. I really realize that about myself. I mean, that's one thing about getting older. You just realize how full of shit you are. You know, people ask you questions, you just start answering them. You know, you get to that point, you're just watching the shit coming out of your mouth. People sitting there listening, taking notes. You know? It's like I flunked everything in high school. Why would you listen to me? You know? I was having lunch with this girl the other day, right in the middle of lunch. She looked across the table from me and she goes, this is gonna seem oddly racist. And I was like, all right, this is gonna be awesome. 41 years old, never heard a conversation started this way. Let's have it, baby. Let's hear what you got. She's just like, there are a lot of Asians in this restaurant. I'm like, that's not racist. Well, that's an observation. There are a lot of Asians in this restaurant. However, if you were to say, what the fuck are all these fucking Asians doing in this goddamn restaurant? Now that would seem oddly racist. But you still haven't said anything bad about Asians, but you definitely seem to have a problem with them being in the restaurant, which is odd. That's odd because I've never heard any bad stereotypes about Asians in restaurants. You know what I mean? Like, dude, they come in, they're taking up all the tables, you know? Just being all Asian. What do you hear? All you hear was about their driving, right? And even that one's bullshit. It's not that they suck, there's no happy medium, you know? It's either Tokyo Drift, 90 miles an hour, driving sideways, parallel parking, and breakdancing into the club, right? You're like, Jesus Christ, is that guy from the future? How does one man possess all of that talent? Oh, they're just stopping in an intersection. Yeah. You know, they don't even get mad. They don't even get mad. They're like, I know, I suck. I don't know what it is. It's like, it's boring. It's almost like it's so simple, I just start daydreaming and, you know. I don't know. I find a lot of that racial stuff like fascinating. You know, like the different rules of like who gets in trouble, who doesn't. Like I've noticed black people have the genius to put the curse word after they say the race of the person, where white dudes, we always put it in front. And if we would just make that little adjustment, we could save so many careers, so many jobs could be saved in the white community if we would just put it after. You never notice that in conversation? You hear a black guy being like, man, I was standing there, this Asian motherfucker came in, he starts talking about, you don't even hear it. You're just sitting there, oh, what did this Asian motherfucker do? I would love to hear the rest of this story, right? Dude, I would tell the exact same story, right? I'm standing there, right? This fucking Asian comes in, right? Everybody's all like, whoa, hey, easy, Jesus, dude. What year is it, you know? It's like, dude, I just said what he said. I just preempted the fuck. That's all I did. He suggested he's hooking up with people's mothers. I'm not even doing that. It's just a quick, I got it out of the way. I got it out of the way. It's just how I talk. This fucking guy came in, he's fucking Asian. Dude, are you wearing sandals? Jesus Christ. Oh my God, sandals with... Middle of December. Yeah, fuck it. You're one of those people. Man, my feet don't get cold. Man, they don't get cold. You know, there's always that one guy, big ski parker in shorts. Hey, my legs don't get cold. My legs don't get cold. That's like his only hope of hooking up with somebody. Like maybe that's interesting to mate with. That'll make a strong baby. His legs don't get cold. I don't know what it is. Plenty of blood for the organs. That had nothing to do with you. That had to do with me being on the road for 4 months. That's all it is. I love this city, man. This is one of my favorite cities to come out to, man. I really do. I do. I like it. You know why? Nah, you got enough, there's enough weirdos here. You still got like a, there's enough mom and pop sort of independent run stores. That's a big thing with me. Like when I go on the road, like I can't do these chains anymore. I just can't. You know how depressing it is to go to a town and see like another just horde of fat people stumbling out of like a cheesecake factory? Oh, they're horrific, just pressing their face up against the glass. Man, they put cookies in that one, It's like they're inventing ways to get extra fat, You know what I like? You know what I hate about these corporate chains? You go in there, you're paying for a business. They make you like do half the job now. I don't get it. Like I walk in, hey, let me get a turkey sandwich, lettuce, tomato on rye with mayonnaise. The guy behind the counter's like, all right, turkey sandwich, lettuce, tomato on rye. Yeah, and mayonnaise. Oh, the mayonnaise is it's right over there. Really? Why don't you fucking go over there and put it on my sandwich? You get it? I'm on this side of the register. Guy who orders the sandwich, guy who fucking makes the sandwich. You get it? I'm sorry they fired the mayonnaise guy, but I'm not doing it. I just gave you 100% of the money to make 100% of the sandwich. This isn't like a relay race. You make half the sandwich, then you hand it off to me. I run over, I throw a pickle on it, frisbee it over to my mom. She sticks an olive with a toothpick in it. Do you recognize me? It's because I don't fucking work here, all right? Just make the sandwich. I'm out. I gave you the money. I'm out. It's over. That's the end of my part. No, I asked the guy for a drink. He gave me a cup. I finally go, you know what? Let me just get this whole thing to go. And the guy's like, all right, the to-go lids, they're right over there. He just snapped the lid on top. I just wanted to grab this guy by his throat and get, where is it? Where is it? Where's him? The guy making me do all this extra shit. Where is it? I just choke my way up that corporate ladder till I get to that eyes wide shut party and everybody's sitting there getting blown. Right? And I come, I just kick the door open. And the second they see my angry face in that lid, I didn't have to explain myself. Just put it over somebody's face and just start. How big's your fucking yacht gotta be? No, that's the thing. It's like never enough. It's never enough with those guys. You know what I can't stand now? Is when you, just get that out of the way for the taping. Cannot have that here for a taping. Cannot have a bottle cap. Let me put that down there. What if I slip and fell 17 minutes into my set? Then what happens, huh? All goes off the rails. Now it's not a special. No, you know what I like was when you go into these places, right? Even when they're getting your money, like that's not enough for them. They want to suck like more information out of you. When I bought toiletries the other day, they asked me for like my phone number. I'm ringing it up. They go, hey, can we have your phone number? No. Well, sorry, we're not going to do anything with this. Really? You're just collecting numbers just for the fuck of it, you idiot? No, you can't have my phone number. Then they get like all freaked out, right? Well, sir, I have to put something in. If I don't input something in, I can't get to the next. What do I do? Well, fucking lean on the keyboard, sweetheart. I don't know what to tell you. Stick your finger on the one. There you go. That's my phone number, 15639. That's it. Live in area code 123. Very exclusive neighborhood.
I spotted her before I even meant to look. My wife was laughing, that full, unguarded kind of laugh that lifts your whole face and makes your eyes shine. She tilted toward another man, just slightly. Her posture was loose, open, more alive than I'd seen her in weeks. My stomach dropped right away, not out of jealousy exactly, but because I recognized that spark. It used to be mine. Everything around me faded into a dull hum as my chest clenched tight. I didn't storm over. I didn't demand answers. I just quietly stepped back, already deciding something I never imagined I'd have to decide. I told myself this was the end. Whatever bond we still had must have already dissolved. Heading for the exit, each footstep felt weighted down, like I was dragging every memory, every promise, every late-night conversation about the life we planned together. My fingers touched the door handle, certain that walking out was the only way I had left to keep some shred of pride. A marriage doesn't always fall apart with yelling. Sometimes it just fades quietly, and you choose to walk away before the break becomes unbearable. Standing there, hands still on the handle, I replayed it all. The gap that had opened between us. How our talks had turned dry and functional instead of warm. The nights we drifted off turned away from each other. I blamed myself just as much as her. Maybe I'd stopped paying attention. Maybe comfort had made me lazy. Maybe this was bound to happen. I inhaled slowly, bracing myself to walk out and never turn back. Then I heard her call my name. Not calm, not casual. It came out sharp, desperate, panicked. The sound sliced through everything and froze me on the spot. My pulse spiked, my mind scrambled. Heads turned. Chairs screeched. Talk around the room died down. I didn't spin around immediately. Some part of me dreaded what I'd find. Another part was terrified of hoping. When I finally turned, she wasn't laughing anymore. She'd pulled back from him, staring straight at me, her face drained of color, like something had just terrified her. Right then, I understood this wasn't what I'd assumed. She rushed toward me, brushing past the man completely, past everyone else in the room. She caught my arm, not softly, not for show, but out of pure desperation. "Please don't leave," she said, and her voice cracked. That caught me off guard instantly. This wasn't how someone acts when they've been caught enjoying attention from someone else. This was genuine terror. I scanned her expression for deceit, for guilt, for something that fit the narrative I'd already constructed. There was nothing. She spun toward the man and said something I never saw coming. "I already told you I'm married. I told you to back off." The room fell silent once more. He fumbled for words, but she talked over him, moving closer to me instead. She laced her fingers through mine, not for appearances, not as an apology, but like she needed something solid to hold on to. She said quietly that she'd gotten swept up because he was discussing a project they'd collaborated on. She hadn't thought about how it must have appeared. That didn't take away the sting, but it shattered the confidence I'd built up so fast. I had no words. Part of me still wanted to walk, still wanted to shield myself from embarrassment. But another part, the one that had spent years loving her, noticed something else in her eyes. Not guilt, sorrow. She tugged me gently to the side and murmured, "I watched you turn to leave, and it hit me instantly how close I came to losing you without even realizing it." Her tone wasn't defensive, it was frightened. She described how isolated she'd been feeling, how nice it felt to have someone's attention, how she'd let boundaries slip without noticing. I stayed quiet. I didn't cut in. I just took it in. The man slipped away without another word, no scene, no confrontation. Just gone. And just like that, the danger I thought I'd witnessed had vanished. What was left was us, raw, awkward, but together in that same room. I understood then how easily assumptions can mislead us, how fast fear can invent an ending that isn't true, how near I'd come to throwing everything away without knowing the whole picture. We left the party together, saying almost nothing in the car. Quiet surrounded us, but this time it felt different. Not final, but full of things still unsaid. Once home, she broke down entirely. No theatrics, just soft, guilty tears. She said she never wanted to cause me pain, but she understood exactly why it had looked like betrayal. I told her how near I'd come to leaving for Real. That shook her more than anything else that night. I never realized I was losing you, she admitted. I told her. Truthfully, neither did I, not until I was already walking out the door. That talk hurt, but it was honest. We discussed emotional distance, how thrill doesn't always signal desire, but how dangerous it becomes when left unaddressed. I didn't let her off easy. She didn't downplay it either. For the first time in ages, we weren't arguing our own sides. We were actually hearing each other. In the days after, those conversations kept going. Bit by bit, she adjusted how she engaged with coworkers. Boundaries got rebuilt with purpose, not by accident. I looked at my own part in it too, how often I assumed things were okay instead of asking. Trust isn't just about loyalty, it's about showing up. She apologized again and again, not only in words, but through what she did differently. And I noticed something unexpected. My anger was gone. What remained was shock. Shock at how close I'd come to making an irreversible choice based on a single moment stripped of context. That realization grounded me. Marriages don't always collapse because of betrayal. Sometimes they nearly collapse because silence, distance, and fear seep into the spaces where honest talk should exist. Friends asked later why I looked like I was about to walk out that night. I didn't tell them. It wasn't theirs to know. What counted was that my wife and I confronted a truth we'd both been dodging. We had been drifting apart. And drifting is dangerous because it happens so quietly. I learned that excitement doesn't automatically mean cheating, but it can signal something starving underneath, an emotional hunger. And left unchecked, that hunger slowly erodes trust. We decided to deal with it head-on instead of acting like nothing happened. That wasn't the easy choice, but it was the truthful one. And truth reshapes a story far more than rage ever could. The moment I saw my wife lit up around another man, something in me sank, and I was sure our marriage had reached its end. I turned to walk away, ready to let go of everything we'd built together. But moments later, she did something so unexpected it made me stop cold, turn back, and doubt the story my fear had already written. That night taught me something important. Not every painful image is proof, and not every ending is truly final. Sometimes the most critical moments in a marriage unfold right at the point of walking away, where a single honest act can either confirm the worst or rescue everything you thought was gone. And that night, we decided to pause, face the truth side by side, and change how our story ends.